Hey, what's up, guys? It is Rapmark here. So, doing my review for episode 10 of Andor. This is the final episode of uh, the number 3 arc, comprising of episodes 8, 9, and 10. And, whoo! What an amazing episode this was. This episode blew me away. So obviously, we are the main thing that's focused on here is the prison break itself. So, uh, and man, they play it off so well. So after what's his name, Kino discovers that he is that you know no one's getting out. Essentially that's the big discovery. You are essentially, once your time is served, you just get transferred to another prison, and you do that until you die, which it's pretty messed up. That's pretty messed up. That is not justice whatsoever. Um, so anyway, he becomes all about him, um, and Andor talks to him. Cassian talks to him about. Hold on. Sorry, itchy ear. Anyway, he talks to him that because Olaf is dead, they need to replace him, and who knows when they'll ever have a chance like that again. So they have to do it now as someone's coming down. So it's really cool. Like they develop like this huge plan. Like Andor will often go on his walk, which is what they refer to as going to the bathroom, a break, a sort of bathroom break, and he starts cutting into this water pipe, and that's sort of his thing he needs to have done by the time there's a new person to let down, and like it is so thought out, and then just hearing Kino like getting the crew ready to do their revolt. Uh, so as the guards are lowering the guy down, Cassian he breaks the water pipe, and it floods the floor, so essentially causing a short out. Um, but yeah, so they jump on the platform that's going down. They and stop it. And I mean, people are just getting gunned down, but they're throwing like tools. They're throwing just whatever they can, and you see quite a few of them get gunned down while they're doing this. So anyway, the guy at the top is told to press the button to essentially fry everything. Uh, but when he does this, it just causes short. There are a couple of people who don't make it on tables. Everyone goes on a table where they're constructing these racks of some sort of part for the Imperials. But yeah, some don't make it, and then it shorts everything out on that floor at least, and so they all go up, and they eventually just overwhelm. Well, no, first Cassian he gets up, he grabs one prisoner's leg and just pew, shoots him, shoots the other guy, and then when he sees the other guy's not dead, he shoots him again. I mean, his count went up in terms of people he's killed. So yeah, he then kills the guy controlling the controls to the floor on that floor, and a few of them are able to get weapons. Um, you see him going through the halls, and they essentially make their way towards the control center, and at that point, uh, you go into, like, there's a couple of officers there, and they're just like, you know, shut off the power, and they're just like, but if we do that, it's all hydro. So if we do that, it'll take months to get it started up again. It's just like, dude, these are not the people you want to explain that to. But yeah, it was, and these two lived like that. A lot of the soldiers, as the prisoners were coming through, and I'll get to that in again, because they release all the doors, and then Kino gives this amazing like monologue speech. Just, God, I love Andy Serkis. He is one of a kind actor, 100%. And honestly, like, I think he deserves more awards, to be honest, because damn, he nailed it out of the park. He stole the show for this, literally. And so yeah, after that they release all of the prisoners. All the floors are deactivated because they have the controls of everything, and they all go and they overrun their prison guards. Some of them like lock themselves in closets and everything, and they're just like, yeah, we don't have a chance here because now at this point they're armed, and they're all making their way. It's just like one way out, one way out, one way out. And that chant, it still is stuck in my head. I mean, it's been a couple days since I've seen the episode, but oh, it was just so deep, and in just, it just sticks with you, It sticks with you guys, and it was amazing. So they managed to get to where the one way out is, and apparently it's jumping off the platform. There's no ships, no nothing. They're stuck there, but all the hydro things are off, so they're not going to get sucked into the water. Uh, but yeah, that they have to jump, and then Kino, poor guy, can't swim, so he has to stay on the prison, which is what I assume happened, because you don't know, like it never really explains like what happened to him if he just jumped and died, because he's dead anyway. He's either in prison for life or he's dead. Like, that's all there is to it. But yeah, from what Wikipedia is saying, is it's just like he needs to. It says he can't swim, must remain in the prison surrounded by water. So I'm assuming that means, according to whatever lore they're creating on this, he is still there. So so yeah, I don't. His story just sort of ends there. So anyway, they escape, and they reach land finally, and that's where it and man, that whole thing was just beautiful. And in between, like before the actual, like, it goes briefly to Mon Mothma, who is meeting this Davo Skolden. So he says he can help her move her money discreetly. And what does he want? Like, she offers him money. He's just like, nope, no fee. And she's just like, I'd rather not owe favors. And he essentially says, what I want is for an introduction between my 12-year-old and your 13-year-old daughter. And as that, the introduction is like the initiation. Yeah, that's one of the initial steps for marriage in their culture. So she declines, but she's thinking about it because, as he's leaving, he says, "This is obviously you obviously have a lot to think about," and she says, "I already have. Get out." And he says, "That's the first lie you've told me. You said," or something like that. And oh man, it was just all the feelings and the performances. It was good. Like, this guy's clearly shady, but he's also a smooth operator. You can tell that. And then Mon Mothma, she's just like, "This is terrible, but what other choice do I have?" So I don't know, like, how that's gonna play out. We'll find out, I guess. And then there is something on Ferrex. His mom is, like, clearly she's sick. I'm assuming dying. I mean, she's an old woman at this point. Um, and then that's kind of it. Like, that whole thing, it's just like it's build up for something that's going to happen in this final arc of 2 episodes. It didn't really convey anything. At least to me, it didn't. If anyone knows about it, then yeah, go ahead and let me know. Um, but yeah, so the next thing, and this is right after they escape and find land. You go back and you find out who the ISB spy is, for Luthen, how he's able to find all these things. And you find out it's Lonnie. So the red-headed fellow with the mustache, for those who don't know. Um, yeah, and he essentially is set up a meeting simply so he could turn in all this intelligence and tell him that he's a father now, and he wants to get out. And Luthen is just like, "Nope. Yeah, you're kind of stuck here." It's just like, well, I mean, what's your plan? Even if I let you go, are you just gonna quit the ISB? And it's just like, yeah, that ain't gonna happen. Whether you like it or not, you're stuck with this. And the only way to keep your daughter safe, is just to see this through to the end. And then Lonnie asks Luthen, what he surrendered, and he pretty much is just like, he surrendered everything, his whole life, everything. And they kind of reflect upon that, like they're both stuck in this. They have no choice at this point, and they're trapped. So I mean, it's this another amazing monologue, through Skarsgård. Is it Skars? Yeah, I believe so. I could be crazy. Yeah, Stellan Skarsgård. Yep, another amazing actor who I absolutely love. And yeah, this episode was so on point with the message of, like, sacrifice. And again, you have these people in impossible situations that have to make these awful choices. Because I mean, essentially, there's the whole thing that, Anto Krieger, he is about to launch a raid on Imperial Power Station, and Luthen essentially makes the decision that, I mean, he's got to carry through with it, and he's got to die. And it's awful, but if that doesn't happen, then the ISB is going to know that someone's been passing along information, and yeah, it's terrible, And then you see that again with Mon Mothma. It's just like, if I need to move my money, this guy can help me, but then he's literally going to try to set up his son with my daughter, and it's just, again, like, it's an impossible situation. So, and then you have again these prisoners. It's just like stay and die, or fight and die, and or run and then escape. Like it's oh man, it's just so deep, and all of the dialogue, all of the monologues, the action was great. Like it seemed so real. It seemed so multifaceted. It seemed just so like deep. These are not like simple black and white issues. And these are not black and white characters. Like there is so much depth between on in any character, even the side characters you actually come to feel for, because even if they have small roles, like they still, it's enough of one to where you're just like, oh my gosh. So I have nothing but amazing things to say about this episode. This, I think, is going to be my very first 10 out of 10. This is a solid 10 out of 10 episode. Again, the only complaint I can really say is there was, the scene on Ferrex, which I don't think really added anything. But at the same time, I know it's building up to something which I hope will culminate in the last two episodes. And it didn't really take away anything, but besides time. But I know it's going somewhere. Like the way they're writing out this series is going somewhere. And from what I've looked at, like the numbers are pretty all right for this series at this point. Especially now that more of them are out. Like it's and I'm glad, and they've greenlit a second season already, and I'm super excited because this is literally probably the best series of Star Wars I've ever seen. And that's from someone who has watched Clone Wars, um, well, almost all of Clone Wars. I'm literally on the last season now. Um, but yeah, I've seen Obi-Wan, I've seen Boba Fett, I've seen Mandalorian, I've seen most of them, and yeah, this one leaves them all behind. This is just an amazing show. Like I said, written by adults for adults, but at the same time, I think it's just good fun for you know a lot of age. Like anyway, so yeah, this is gonna be a 10 out of 10 for me. I am really excited to see how they do the last two episodes and tie up all these plots that are going on at the same time, and whether or not some of the plots will leak over into season two, which is also very possible. So it's going to be interesting to see, where these things all end up at. But I'm excited, and I can't wait for the next episode. So anyway, thank you all for joining me. I hope you all enjoyed, and I will catch you guys next time. See ya.